drop the rich, and ladies and gentlemen and everybody in between, there is a possibility that it is time to start the SYN Shop podcast. I am, of course, the Mighty Pong.
I'm Krux.
And on tonight's show, welcome back, number one. Welcome back, Krux. Good to have you back. We're going to talk...
Yeah, I've been busy.
You've been extremely busy. Hey, number one, Birdie, good evening from Nevada. That's right. On tonight's show, we're going to be talking a lot about where you've been and what you've been doing, moving the shop and all that stuff. But before we go there, a quick announcement on the shop, as always. Now, the SYN Shop is currently closed for remodeling. You're going to see all about that here shortly. But while you're working elsewhere, make sure that you wear a mask and clean your tools, surfaces, and material before and after you use them. Stay home as much as you can, don't touch your face, and for Pete's sake, wash your damn hands. Now, to stay updated on the shop's open status, you can check out synshop.org/COVID status to find the latest information. And to make sure that you're notified of future events, including virtual ones, just like this one, you can join us at meetup.com/Synshop. If you'd like to if you'd like to join Discord, that's the one. You can head over to synshop.org/Discord for more information on that. Well, the list of things to read got a little shorter.
Yeah.
So I got that going for me.
Right.
What were you going to say?
And you don't have to point people over to 1057 or 1075 American Pacific Drive.
1075 American Pacific Drive. Yeah, I know. It's kind of a bummer. Well, yeah, so I guess let's go ahead and get into it then. Let's get after it. No. So first of all, now I've said this for about 4 shows running. All the ones that you haven't been here for, I've been saying this. But before we go forward, I do want to take a minute to address the real MVPs, one of whom is sitting right over. Yeah, I did it right. Yeah, right over there. Krux, thank you.
Behind me?
No.
I'm seeing one there.
No, in right in front of your computer. But he is.
You're talking about the cat. Okay.
It was the cat. That's right. We want to recognize Crux's cat. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Ferris, and he's adorable. He, right? Yeah.
Yes. Yeah,
yeah. Okay. All right. Excellent. So yeah, no, but he's been out for the last few weeks, being the fearless leader, doing all of the things to help overseeing all the things to help get our shop where it needed to be. Also want to say a big thank you to Akeen for wading through all of the paperwork and handling all the financing stuff, all the people, all the times where someone had to deal with someone in a suit. Akeen was there. Shave Daddy and Vegas Vic, they came up with a large part of the floor plan, have been coordinating and still are coordinating all the heavy equipment moves and all that stuff. Of course, Nuclear Mike, without whose generosity, a lot of this wouldn't be possible. We got Zenify, Kai, McNutnut, Forge, Dragon Flames, Exhaust, Jed, Timka, Miss Jackalope, Rudy, and I'm sure that I'm missing somebody for helping us push through this last few days on this just ridiculous project. Also, of course, Mr. Jones, who joined us last week. He was handling all the waiting on hold forever stuff, all the things where you had to sit on hold for hours on end and call people. He handled a lot of that stuff. So Krux, I've been wanting to ask you this question for a while. Is there anyone I've left out? Or did I get it?
I'm sure there are, but
Yeah.
I'm horrible with names. I remember the faces of the people that were there, but I'm really bad with names. So.
Absolutely. Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, how about Elemental or Rudy? Man, he gets like the what do they call
Yeah,
that?
he was there almost every day when we were moving. So
what do they call that when there's like a brand new, like a rookie player, but he comes in and like does amazing things? Is that like all-star, or what do they call that? There's
I don't know. That sounds like a sports thing.
Yeah.
I'm the wrong person to ask on that.
It is, and I'm the wrong person to start that. Okay, well, fair enough. But anyway, yeah, no, he came in and just did an amazing job from everything that I've heard. And so, thank you, of course, to all the people that were able to step up and do that. And that's freaking awesome. So is there anything that you want to say to all the helpers and to,
I mean, I've said a million thanks, during the move, but also, thanks to everyone that's made it possible because, without everyone's help, we wouldn't have gotten it done. So it there was a lot of late nights and long days, and uh, especially with, like, being in the middle of a pandemic, that doesn't make it easy to move a lot of things. Like the last time we had, like, I don't know, like 40 people all moving stuff at once, and we got everything done in one day. So this took, I think, 6 days to do all of
Absolutely.
the moving. That doesn't even include like the boxing up and all that beforehand.
Yeah.
Uh, and moving everything into a much smaller space, and a lot of space we had to keep free. So of the smaller space, we had even less space to work with. So
Mm-hmm.
it did make things challenging. So
I mean, well, there's another area where Vegas Vic and Shape Daddy did just an amazing job with just coordinating where stuff went. Like when I got over there, I was just amazed that they were, well, number one, that you guys got everything in so fast, but number two, that it's like it's not just stacked floor to ceiling. Everything kind of makes sense. You know what I mean?
yeah, I mean, there's some things like, where like crafts is going to be. We have a lot of the small woodworking equipment
Mm-hmm.
and craft stuff and 3D printer stuff, and it's just, that was one of the rooms that we could stack a bunch of stuff, so it got stacked there.
Yeah.
Electronics has a ton of stuff, not necessarily electronics related, but mostly uh, the room that like the server cabinet's going to be in, that has like a lot of the chairs and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Um, that Some of the rooms look like we're trying to create a hoarder house, just because it got stacked in there how it
Absolutely.
could fit.
Yeah.
Other rooms like electronics were pretty good. Like most of that stuff was boxed, so it could stack in a neat manner, and we had some shelves set up. But
So
yeah, on the video there's the old shop in the empty state. So
yeah,
Forge took some video of that on the last day. So
it
uh,
I was
we had
telling,
about, like, I think four of us doing like the final cleanup and moving of the last things out of the space.
wow.
We had like a final meal on like a furniture moving blanket in the middle of the common room on the floor.
It's just amazing to see this. Like I first got to the shop, what was that? 2016, so about a little bit over 4 years ago. And I ever since the day I walked in, it's just been stacked, just it's looked pretty much the same. Seeing everything stripped down like this is just, it's weird. I mean, it's the same way every time I like leave a house that, or an apartment or whatever. It's just so weird walking through it and seeing nothing there. And especially, when you realize that, oh, this might be the last time I see this place. Is there any of that for you? Kind of like an ennui, as they might say, but like kind of like a, huh? Is there any of
Yeah,
that?
I mean, it's yeah, we did like the space. Unfortunately, the cost went
Yeah,
to the point where we couldn't afford it, and it's better owning a space if you can. Like it's the same thing with renting versus owning an apartment or a house. Uh, you renting is essentially giving someone else a bunch of money so they can pay their mortgage
right.
versus you paying the mortgage and then getting something from it.
Yeah, it is.
And all of the cleanup we did actually probably helped a lot, because like we're gonna get most of our deposit back, and we weren't expecting anything back, honestly.
Oh,
But like a lot of the stuff where there's like holes in the drywall from mounting things and whatnot, that's all considered under normal wear and tear because we were there for 5 years.
right.
And then like the carpet's it's seen a hard life, and especially like the carpet in the warehouse is really bad because the neighbors, they flooded a couple times, and
Yeah,
that all just absorbed into the carpet. We did what we could to clean it up, but
yeah.
it looks pretty bad. But when they did the walkthrough, it's like, why is there even carpet here? And it's like,
I don't know.
so
You guys put it there. Oh well, I guess the previous tenants did, or did you when you moved in? Did you put the carpet back there or no?
No, that carpet was there.
Okay.
So
So of the things at the old shop, I guess just to put a bow on that, what are some things that you're not going to miss? What are some things that you're like, man, you know, I know we're leaving and it's kind of bittersweet, but there's a little bit of sweet mixed in with the bitter. What are you not going to miss?
So if we can get it set up right, I won't miss, stuff being as unorganized and inefficiently used as it was. Because
Yes.
where we're at now, we're going to be forced into actually, upping up our organization game. And like some of the ideas that like Tony and Tim came up with is like, yeah, that's like amazing, and that will make things so much easier for people. Like a good example is you have a sander or some other like portable power tool.
Mm-hmm.
Is it'll be in a clear plastic bin that can like slide in and out of a shelf like holder thing. And it'll be labeled of what it is, and and like all the stuff for it, like if it's a sander, that's where like the sanding discs are, and you just pull out the tool you need, and then when you're done, you know where to put it back. So
yeah. Oh, that's kind of interesting. So I guess the only question I would have would be, what about dust collection? Because if I'm taking the sander out and I'm setting it pretty much wherever I'm going to be working with it, are there just random dust collection ports that you'd have to plug into, or how does that work?
Yeah, we'll have to get something set up for that.
Yeah.
But a lot of what we're doing for dust collection is going to depend on what we can do for power.
Mm-hmm.
So our current dust collection, the motor runs off of 483 phase, and we don't have that in the current location. So if we can get 3-phase brought into there for a decent amount of money, then we'll do that, and then it'll stay that. If not, then probably what we'll end up doing is getting a couple smaller units that run on single phase, and then like distribute them. So it'll be like one for the fine dust type stuff, and then one for like the larger sawdust.
Oh yeah, that makes sense.
So like the planer, for example, it makes big chips,
right?
Same thing. The table saw makes fairly large chips when it's cutting. Sanders, however, make really fine dust. So
yeah,
the way our dust collection was set up before was not really ideal. Like we lost a lot of efficiency just because of the way the company we bought it from set it up. Like they put like giant like elbows and Ys like right at the start, and it lost like about 60% of its power at least.
What was that
right off the bat?
Okay. Huh. Yeah, that makes sense, because you want it to be smaller there, so you've got higher air pressure, right? Or higher velocity.
It's more if you go around like an elbow or have a Y or something like that, then you end up losing a lot of you lose a lot of the
momentum,
the vacuum power there, because the air has to hit the corner and then redirect.
Okay.
So it's like the same thing with like if you had a straight duct versus one of the ones that the plastic duct with like the big coil that goes all around.
Right.
So that's a lot of like resistance to the airflow, so you don't get as much airflow through it.
Right. Basically just a whole ton of turbulence, basically all the way down the thing. Yeah. Okay. Well, so then what are some things that you think you're going to miss about the place then? Like the
I mean, I like the location. I mean, the new location's good as well.
Yeah.
I mean, the new location for me personally is great because it's actually fairly close to my house.
Yeah.
Like I could walk to the shop if I wanted to. I think it's like 1.7 miles or something.
Not bad. Yeah. Yeah, I'm
but the area was nice as well. So there's some things nice with the area
Yeah,
there.
definitely. Yeah, I think that I feel the same way about, like, as far as things that I won't miss. I kind of feel like I don't think the area is one of them really. I think it's more along the lines here. I'm trying to open up the shop area map. That's why I'm staring off to the heavens here. I'm just looking at the other monitor. But I think what I'm gonna miss the most about the old shop. Well, honestly, I'm actually really looking forward to going to the new shop, to be completely honest. It's like, the old shop was good, but I feel like the new one's going to be so much better that it's going to be, I don't think I'm going to.
We have a lot of opportunity to make it really what we want and
Yes.
make it a great place that people want to come down to and make it so it's usable, even though it's less space.
Yeah.
I think it'll be nice.
Okay, so I've got map. So just so I can show everybody where the old one is, it goes a little something like that. Okay, don't know why we did that, but that's what we did. Ease on back there. Okay. So yeah, if you are familiar with the Las Vegas area, that's where we were down there. That's the building that was just running a second ago. And actually, you can see right there the stuff that you were talking about, the elbow for the whatchamacallit, for the dust collector. Can I pull up that picture? Yeah. Oh, sweet. Oh, here we go. I don't know who took these pictures.
Yeah,
but...
so that little elbow that like juts right up there.
Yeah.
Then it went to like a Y, and so all of that cut out all the power that huge dust collector was capable of.
Eesh. Yeah, this kind of been. I don't know. This was a while ago because that table's not there. Yeah. Huh. Oh, and the vending machine was still in one piece.
Yeah.
This was a while ago. Show on the map where you are now. Oh, yeah. Oh, we definitely will. Anyway. Yeah, that's
the blue couch.
Yeah.
We tossed that away.
We need to do a new couch. We need to do a new board.
We need a better map.
Yeah. Totally agree. Yeah. So I'll get that for number one birdie. I'll get that up on there on the screen here shortly. If I can remember what our address is. Let's see. What did I say? It was or what did you say? It was 50.
I have it in the clipboard here. 5967 Harrison Drive.
That was my next guess. Okay, there we go. So yeah, there's where SYN Shop was down here, and where SYN Shop will be is up here. Now, like we said, we're not open yet. We are still in the process of getting ready to where we can. As a matter of fact, I guess I may as well.
Yeah, we're still actually waiting on all the purchase paperwork to get finalized. So we were able to get like an early move in, but we can't actually do any construction or anything yet. So.
Right. Yeah. Man, it's going to cause me all kinds of trouble. Sonic drive-ins right there. I don't eat burgers often, but when I do, it's usually Sonic. So that's at the corner of Eastern and Russell, kind of. Or, yeah, in between Russell and Patrick.
It's closer to Patrick, but
it is, yeah. So, yeah, that's where we're going to be coming soon to a industrial park near you.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff in the area as far as like food goes. Mm-hmm. Like Eggworks, which is down on Sunset. It's like south on Eastern. That's a great breakfast place. I wouldn't go there these days because of COVID times, but we were pretty much there every Saturday. We would get breakfast with a group of us.
Eggworks is super good. I miss that too. Like me and my wife both.
I miss going down there with friends and hanging out and
what is it?
Drinking lots of coffee.
The Portuguese sausage, so good. Like they got the Hawaiian breakfast.
I don't think I've had that.
Yeah, but yeah, we got Farmer Boys, we got some Jamba Juice, we got Del Taco over here. We can fix our phones, learn to wrestle, go to Future Stars of Wrestling, you know. We can
or not.
or not. I'm just you can.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, Home Depot, the Home Despot is somewhere over here, I think. Oh no, it's on the other side, isn't it? I think we're in between.
Yeah, so Home Depot is on Pecos, and then Lowe's is directly across from on Eastern.
Yeah. Okay. It's in with the Walmart Supercenter. Yeah. Yeah, there it is. Yeah, so super close. Is McDonald's serving wine? I don't know, but I mean, you have my attention. Is McDonald's serving wine? I don't know what I missed there.
I
But they could
don't
be.
know.
I don't know.
I don't consider McDonald's food personally. But
That's a fair point. It's things that make you not hungry anymore. I guess there's that. But yeah, no, it is a much better place from a locational standpoint, and I agree. Like, I think being forced to actually organize stuff is definitely going to be helpful. My girlfriends were joking about it earlier, and I saw it in the area map. Awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe, you never know. They ought to now. So this the video in the background is just basically B-roll. So you mentioned about organization. How do you see that changing? Like that was a great example with the different bins with the sanders and stuff like that. Like, do you have more examples like that?
I mean, a lot of it is as we're putting things in, we really need to think about how it's organized to be useful and where you can find stuff and all that. So it's going to be a lot of work, but
yeah.
But yeah, we're going to use like space underneath the pallet racks for workspace as well. So there's less floor space that's actually, I guess, being taken up by the pallet racks because it's really just up above that's being used.
Right.
We do have to take out that whole second story in the back because that wasn't really done to code, but that should kind of open things up anyway. Right. So I think it'll kind of probably be better space back there as it is.
Oh yeah, no, totally
with that out of the way.
Yeah. One of the things that well, here actually I can show that space. Where is that at? Right there. Can I go Christmas shopping in there? No, well, I mean, we had some stuff. You should have caught us at the old shop, actually, number one birdie, because we were getting rid of a whole bunch of stuff. You could have had what was that?
Yeah, one of the guys that was helping us out, he got a lot of lumber because, it's like, we're not taking any of this to the old shop. So if you want it, take it. And a lot of it was good plywood and stuff like that. It just, we didn't have space for it. So
well, tell him I said you're welcome. I know at least probably about $40 worth of it was mine, so that's fine.
Yeah.
But yeah, so this is the area that you were talking about just a second ago with the metalworking, and you can see that in the video. I'll play that and I'll point it out when I play the video here in just a second. But this whole area right here is currently enclosed, and we're going to be knocking that area down, knocking those walls down, and essentially making this a part of the shop floor, out here. So this will all basically be shop floor here. Like he was saying, like Krux was saying a second ago, we're going to take out this staircase here. We're going to take out the craptastic upstairs room. But it's going to be good. Like it is going to be really good. And you said, you mentioned earlier, take your time to get it right. And that's, I mean, that kind of goes hand in hand with what you were saying a second ago. We've got to really focus on what we're putting in as we're putting it in. One thing I noticed as we were moving things is so much stuff we get donated to us. It's hard to. I think you know where I'm going. Go ahead.
We get a lot of things like, and that was another thing we were talking about is, we'll take like the battery powered hand tools, for example.
Yeah.
I think we have like 4 different battery systems,
Mm.
and I don't want that. We want like one battery system.
Mm-hmm.
So I think one of the things we're going to do is kind of standardize on one type of tool, and like this is the series of tool for this type of thing.
Yeah.
And then that way, one, you kind of better know if it's shops or not, because a lot of people do bring their own tools down to work on something.
Mm-hmm.
And then 2, it makes it so one battery is going to work in any particular thing. Nothing's worse than if you have like, there's this battery that this one tool uses and nothing else uses it, and so you have to have space for the batteries and just extra stuff to do it. So like that's like one of the things. So we can purchase like a good type of tool versus just random stuff that got donated.
Yeah.
I mean, we'll still like probably accept the donations, but I think we're gonna use a page from 23B's book where we have a purgatory pile. And so how purgatory works is it gets stuck in the pile and dated and inventoried or whatever, and as like this will be in the pile for 1 month, and then after that it gets thrown out or donated elsewhere. But anything in the purgatory pile you can just have, you can take. That's where Forge got her telescope. It was stuck in purgatory, and she got it and fixed it, and now it's a working telescope.
So someone brings in a thing, and there's a pallet or something that is marked as purgatory, and for 1 month any member can just come in and grab it and go. Is that?
Yeah, if it's in purgatory, you can just grab it.
Okay, all right. So it's basically like the hack.
They would do like a weekly like get together. I think on like Thursday nights. They're not doing that now because California's in lockdown. But
yeah, absolutely. Romeo 254 asks, what was the subject on Monday? Sorry, I missed. Well, number one, I mean, you should watch, go back and watch the video on demand. But we were doing the Atari, the Spark Punk, what's it called? The Spark Punk Eurorack module. Sorry, I got 5 different things going on.
I caught some of that one. I think I got done with the cleanup that day and then was pretty much just wiped out. But I got back to catch the tail end of that stream, and it was cool seeing you guys work on that. We got to have him back on the show.
Absolutely.
And he was one of the people that did a lot of the work to help move too. So
that's right. Yeah. On this coming Monday's show on the project stream, somebody is going to be joining us. Yeah. And but I know that I am going to be working on the Spark Punk. I'm going to be continuing my work on the Spark Punk, getting all of the jacks in. So I got the switches on last time. I got a button that I need to put on and some switches. And also I'm going to build a mini test rack, including the state, what was that thing called? State changer, the state machine, the one that you told me about from Tindy. Anyway, that thing I'm going to be putting in a rack along with some other things just to ease testing along so that people can actually follow along as they're watching. So I'm going to be putting together some of that on Monday. That's going to be Monday at 7:30 p.m. right here. Again, if you want to find out more information about the shop, head on over to synshop.org for more information. If you want to join our Discord, it's synshop.org/Discord. And you can find all the latest and greatest information about the shop right there. If you would like to help us, you can either grab yourself a shirt. You can hit up synshop.org/donate. You can throw bits at us. All of it goes to the same pot. It all goes to the shop. And we appreciate any help that you guys can provide. So anyway, there's my my general pitches and whatnot. But at any rate, okay. So let's see. We talked a little bit about the new shop. So we still got the while we got the thing up here. What are our goals for it? Like one of them, I guess, really the primary goal is going to be to save as much space as possible, basically, right?
Yeah, I mean, so we have to, we have a space for electronics, the 3D printing and laser cutting. That's pretty much set in stone where that's going to go. Crafts was going to go at 12. That may change. We don't know yet.
Yeah.
We're planning on putting lockers over in the 11 space, but we may put lockers in various locations. That way, maybe if you just do electronics, then maybe use one of the lockers in electronics if we put one there,
Right.
for example.
Yeah.
We got a lot of lockers, and I think they're about 60% used. If we don't have space for lockers, we might end up getting rid of some too. So that's also an option. So
yeah, I know somebody is gonna go through all of those and figure out what the freaking combos are.
Yeah, thanks for that. Yeah. We were trying to get combos for those forever. So
yeah. Well,
I think the only ones we had were the weird shaped lockers, and then all the bulk of the lockers we have are the rectangular ones, and so those just never got used because we didn't know the combo to them. So
okay. Yeah, we got the
we have all the stuff in the shop area, like metalworking and woodworking and the shop bot, hotworks. We're trying to figure out like what all the things we want to have in the space be, and like what the best way to or lay out things to make it work.
Oh, so actually that reminds me. So from the times of actually, I got the thing from the very first shop. Like I couldn't believe it. Mr. Jones brought this to us last week, and I was like, oh yeah, that is super neat because I'd never seen this before. But this.
Yeah, I drew that one up.
You did?
That was one of mine.
Oh, neat.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it kind of tripped me out because I was like, wait, you mean all of the shop fit in that little area there? Is that? Am I reading that right?
No, that's there were like 3 units side by side, and we were originally going to get the 3 units. We ended up actually only getting the bottom 2 on there.
Oh,
so that area up that, yeah, all of that is what we had.
Oh, okay.
So the area up above, that was like a post office at one point. So like that weird, like weirdly shaped wall there at the upper left, that was like all post office like locker type things, little small
post office
boxes.
Yeah.
So that got ripped out, and then a 3D printing company moved in there for a brief amount of time. A large amount of time that area just sat empty.
Oh wow.
The space in the back, that all kind of got reorganized. So that wall there in the center, that went away. There was a wall kind of where the closet is shown there. That went straight down. And then there was like 2 bathrooms in the back area, and then that opened up into that other space. So the bathrooms were shared between the 2 spaces, our space and then whoever our neighbor was. And then that wall the room shown on the bottom right, that was what we called the danger room, and it didn't have
bottom right, the other right.
Yeah.
So you're saying down here? Oh, you mean over?
That's left.
I'm working on it. I gotta hold my hands out in front of me and the camera. So, but this is the danger room here.
That, and then the room next to it.
Oh, okay. You mean like this too?
Yeah.
Okay.
Gotcha. So that vertical wall in the middle there, or the walls in there, were gone.
Okay. That makes a lot more sense. And then
there was a wall. So there's like the little box with the X. That's where the HVAC unit was. So if you kind of took like the bathroom, actually where the steps were,
okay, yeah,
there was a wall that went to kind of where that vertical wall is, I guess.
something like that.
Other way.
Oh, oh,
so that wall, and you see the steps on the right,
mm-hmm.
where the door is. So there was a wall that went in line with that to where that wall is that you highlighted.
Okay.
And so that area in there is kind of where like all the bathrooms, and then we had lockers and stuff in there.
Wow.
That middle door, it wasn't there anymore, so we only had the one. And if you scroll to the right, so all that building in the back,
mm-hmm.
That was like an add-on that got put on the building at some point, but it wasn't structurally sound in any way.
Oh, goodness.
So it all got torn down. So that was just parking.
Okay. Wow. So, okay. So it was a little bit bigger than I thought that it was when we were talking about it on the show last week. That's cool. So I guess we had touched on the move from, 1 to 2 as far as like lessons learned, going from shop 1.0 to shop 2.0. But I wanted to ask you, like, what are some of the things that you are like, okay, we definitely don't want to do that again coming from 2.0? I mean, we touched on organization.
This move was kind of weird because we kind of got pushed into a wall where we didn't have any more time, and we just had to get everything out of the current location.
Yeah, that's true.
What we wanted to do is still be in the current location while we were doing the build out in the new location.
Mm-hmm.
But
you didn't.
They were charging us 150% of what we were paying, and therefore it just wasn't sustainable to do that. So we got to do things the hard way now, where we have stuff in the way. Actually, one of the things we're planning on doing is ordering some pods. I got to remind Akeen to do that at some point.
Yeah.
And then we can move stuff into those pods, so it's not in the shop space. It's stuff that we know we're not going to use for a while during the build out.
Mm-hmm.
And then that gives us more space to get things done.
Yeah.
Like all of the lockers are things that could be put into pods. So probably for that, we'll end up knocking a hole in the wall in the area where the lockers are currently at, because getting them around that corner is stupid, and we got to get a hole in that wall or we got to remove that wall anyway.
Yeah. I understand it's quite
all the stainless steel tables, those can be put into storage. Sure. A lot of the chairs, those can be put into storage. Some of the tables, other tables. There's a lot of stuff that we can kind of put into temporary storage for a while we work on stuff.
Absolutely. The Leaning Tower of ShopBot too, that's currently in the back. I'm sure some of that can go into storage. The gigantic table on top of the ShopBot on top of the
table on the table on the table. Yeah.
That's the one. Yeah. Let's see. I'll find that here shortly.
So there's like 3 rows deep of the stainless steel tables.
Yeah.
And those get used for work surface in mostly metalworking.
Mm-hmm.
Currently, I think there's some that were elsewhere. I don't think all of those were in metalworking, but I don't remember. So whether we keep all those or not, I'm not sure. But yeah, all those can go into storage. And then behind that, you can kind of see the ShopBot kind of.
Yeah. It's at the bottom of the stack of tables.
Yeah. So on top of the shop bot is the glue up table we had.
Yep.
And then upside down on top of the glue up table on like some 2x4s so we can get a forklift in there if need be, is the table that we had in electronics.
That thing wasn't
and that
no
table's
joke.
huge and heavy.
That ain't no joke. I tried
but it's a nice table.
Yeah.
So.
I tried real hard to get that to where I could snatch it with the forklift. I didn't know it was okay to go on the carpet, and I was there by myself. So I was like, I don't want to do anything really stupid. So I tried though. I had like the back legs on some on a couple of tote lids to get those to slide across the carpet. Didn't matter.
No, it's heavy.
Yeah.
Tony and I moved that ourselves from the place we got it from. It sucked. That was a job.
I'm sure it was. What is the top of that? Is it particle board or lead or what the hell? Like,
I think it's part of a dying star.
It's got to be
the material from that,
right? God. Okay. Well, yeah. So that's yeah. Pods are neat. I actually, when I moved out here to Las Vegas from St. Louis, we used a pod to do that, and it's the coolest thing ever. It's a storage container, right? But they have a robot that they bring out that attaches to all four corners. It's got a little frame, and this guy controls it all pneumatically, and each leg can operate independently, and it drives itself. They attach the thing to it. It picks it up and it drives itself onto the truck. You know, obviously the guy's controlling it, but he can remotely drive the thing onto the truck and drop it down onto the truck and then pick the legs up and he's down the road. It is so cool to watch. I wish I would have thought of it.
One of our board members or former board members, James.
Yeah.
When James and Rebecca moved, they used pods to move out of their I think they used pods to move out of their previous place into the last place that they had.
Mm-hmm.
And like doing that, it was nice because you just threw the stuff into the pod. I mean, you still have to pack it like you would like any other moving truck, but
right.
You weren't. It was a lot closer because you put it exactly where the pod needed to be, and you had two pods set up that would hold all the stuff, and you loaded them up and then call them up, and then they moved them to where they needed to go. So,
yeah.
And then you unloaded them at the other location. So.
In hindsight, well, again, hindsight being 2020 and everything, which has such a different meaning now. But with hindsight being 2020, we really should have gotten like two of those pods, put them in back of the shop, and one of them is going to the shop and the other one's going to storage. You know what I mean? Like, we would obviously need more than two for sure. But I'm just saying, like, do something like that to sort it out as we're doing it. I mean, but this is like, 5 years down the road when we're tired of this place, then just, we'll just refer back to this video.
I mean, hopefully we'll be in the current location longer than 5 years. I mean, what I would like to see, like an ideal world, is, one of the units next to us comes up for sale and we buy that at, down the road when we can afford to buy another place, and then we just expand into that.
See, that would be perfect. Yeah. If we could basically buy our neighbor.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. There's all the organizational stuff. There's the location of the place. Do you think that it's going to change membership very much?
It might. There were some Summerlin members that are people that you lived in Summerlin that stopped being a member when we moved into the Henderson area, just because it's a lot longer of a drive. I don't know how much, it actually is shorter of a drive. It might actually be the same if you were to actually drive it, because
surface streets
at the old location we're right next to a freeway, and so it's a little bit from a freeway. You have to get off the 15 off ramp, or the airport connector, I think off ramp is what they call it. and then from there you're it's not too far away. But
Number one.
there's also there's perception is a lot of things as well. So
that's a good point. Yeah. I mean, because even though it's not actually in the middle of town, for whatever reason, the new location feels like it is. But maybe that's just because I'm Mr., lives down in this general vicinity here, and so I'm like, so this is kind of the center of what I consider Las Vegas, because I like almost
I mean, if you're in like that upper left area, the northwest part of town, you're still in the sticks of Las Vegas, kind of, so to speak. So if you're past Summerlin, then it's still going to be a trek to go wherever. So
that's right. Yeah.
So off the 215, you can get off the connector, and then you just go over Sunset and then up on Eastern, and then you're there.
Yep. And, like with moving things in, there's a whole lot of opportunities. Oh, that was one thing I wanted to ask you. Yeah, that's right. From the original shop in through, shop 1. Well, I guess really you could look at it as like when it was in someone's garage, that would kind of be like 0.5, and then.
Well, we called that version 0. So
that was version 0. Okay.
Like any true hacker.
Excellent. Okay, so then version 0 was that one, and then 1 is the one that we showed earlier that was off of Fremont. Then 2 is the one we just moved out of, so this is version 3.0. So from version 0 to to where we're at right now, just after 2.0, right? How has the usage of the shop changed, or even has it? Is it like more based towards the cellulose based arts? Is it more woodworking? Is it more lasers? Is it more? Yeah, it's not really metalworking. What do you think?
So in version 0, and like 0.1, I guess, is when we were in Mark's garage, but it was a lot of people just get together on a Saturday and BS about whatever, or work on some electronics projects. So there was a lot of electronics focus back then. We didn't have the space for like woodworking or all that. Like, we had the tools because they were my tools in my garage, but we didn't build a whole lot of things there. It was more working on just showing off projects that you were working on, that type of thing. When we were downtown, that's like our first commercial space. There we had, woodworking has always been pretty popular there. So, a lot of people use the woodworking shop. Laser cutting was always a big thing. 3D printing. There was a lot of people working on individual crafts as well. We didn't so much have a crafts area there. It was just, there was a shelf with some storage for crafts. That was the crafts area.
And that's version 1, right?
Yeah, that's version 1.
Yeah.
People working on electronics projects, robotics, people coming down with their, I want to build this free energy machine. I know it's not going to work, but I want to build it anyway.
Right.
We haven't had any people like that lately, but that was a thing. And then version 2, really heavy in woodworking. We added metalworking and welding, so that would get used somewhat. It's not heavily used, those areas, but they do get used occasionally.
Yeah.
Even more laser cutting. Still people working on crafts, and a lot of people doing like painting or electronics or other random things like that.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of the things that we did at version 2 versus version 1 are the same. It's just we've added some things.
Mm-hmm. But it still is so.
But I think in version 2 there was a lot more woodworking than we had at the other space.
Okay. Yeah, you were talking
Just
about
because, I
go
think
ahead.
our wood shop was a lot bigger as well, and so we had more tools and more capability. So
Yeah, and that was you're saying at 1.0.
mm-hmm.
Yeah, yeah, like you're talking about how the a lot of times the whatchamacallit, the metalworking area, like the milling machine, doesn't get used. It's a hard one to. Where were you?
Yes. So we were right next to Nacho Daddy, if you know where that is.
See if I can find this.
So it was on 4th Street.
4th Street.
Just north of the Fremont Street experience.
Working on loading. If the sound glitches, it's y'all's fault. I'm kidding. Let's see. St. Louis. Okay. Where's it at? Where's the street? No, Bridger. Am I too high? I'm too high, aren't I? Nope. Fremont Street. There. Yep. And you said just north of it?
Yeah.
3rd Street is.
Forget the address. I think it was 117 4th, but
4th Street. Oh, that's right. Yeah, we found it last week. Yeah. Okay, I remember now. It's right here.
Yeah.
It's Fremont's Jewelry now.
4th Street.
There we go. She worked at the plaza. See, I think. I don't remember. I think so though. But yeah, so you mentioned about the metalworking area, and it's like the milling machine is definitely a thing that is like hard to approach. You know what I mean? If you've never used a milling machine before, I can see it being just terrifying. And I mean, in a way, it kind of should be. You know what I mean? You need to have a healthy fear of it.
You can do some serious damage to yourself and the machine if you don't use it right.
Absolutely, yeah. I've always said that using a milling machine is perfectly safe as long as you don't forget how terribly dangerous it is. As long as you remember that, it's perfectly safe. We
had one that we were borrowing from a member. It was like one of the combination lathe milling machine ones.
Yes.
From like Harbor Freight. It was not great. And we put in a lot of work to get it to a workable state. And then he took it back. So it's like,
dude.
I think I used it for a couple things. A couple other people used it for a couple things. It didn't get used a lot.
Yeah. Huh. Oh, yeah. Kids, what are you going to do?
That's one of the reasons why we tend not to borrow people's tools now. We'd rather you just give it to the shop if you want it to be at the shop for a long period of time.
Definitely, yeah.
Just because we've gotten burned on that, so
no fun.
So it's either you give it to the shop or we set up like a leasing agreement or something like that.
Yeah. Oh, that's another thing.
During the leasing agreement, it's the shop's essentially. It's not your tool; it's the shop's tool.
Absolutely. Are you both going to move in this building? I mean, both? Like,
I mean, the shop's moved there.
Yeah, no, the shop, like you're looking at the shop stuff, it's there. Yeah. But no, I am a board member at the shop. I definitely do not run the shop at all. So, yeah. The
board member's job is a lot of the businessy type things. So, we're concerned about the shop as a business entity. We still are, but our main job is to make sure that the company that is SYN Shop continues to function. It's not so much day operations. It's more the requirements of running a 501c3 type of thing.
What?
We do tend to do a lot of the day-to-day stuff as well.
Yeah.
But other people other than board members can also do that type of stuff. So
Absolutely. Yeah. And then there's, deciding what room goes where. And then there's the, so-and-so is doing this and shouldn't be, and someone needs to go talk to that guy and, blah, 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 that stuff. That falls to us as well. Just like the daily upkeep of it. It's definitely not Crux's big move. It's all of ours big move. It's kind of like, it's kind of like a community treehouse. You know what I mean? Like, there's
I've often referred to myself as the head janitor. So
there you go. Absolutely. Yeah. We are all janitors sweeping up after each other. I guess. I don't know. That doesn't make sense at all. We move forward. But yeah, so it is definitely a community thing. There is, everybody puts into it what they can, from each according to their means and to each according to their needs. You take what you need to take out of the shop, and you put into it what you can put into it. And
the shop is 100% member run.
Yep.
We have no employees. The shop is kept open because members that are paying a monthly membership decide that they can take time out of their schedule to ensure that the shop is open for other members to come down and work on stuff. So one of the things we run into kind of frequently is where people will come down and expect that is like any other business, and it's not.
Right. Yeah. We're supported.
It's entirely more of a club than a business, I guess. Right.
It's a big club, and it's supported by members like you. There's my PBS announcement, my PBS pledge drive announcement there. Well, speaking of PBS pledge drives,
if you want something to actually happen, and you're upset that this thing isn't set up yet, well, then learn how to set it up.
Set one up. Yeah, that's true. I was thinking actually about that on in the post game we'll talk about that, me coming to that realization like I think a day or so ago that that's why that's not set up, because someone has to set it up. And so I will tell you of my realization of that.
All right, that'll be a good post game topic.
Absolutely. Well, so speaking of the post game, that's where we're about to head. So if you're watching us on YouTube, number one, of course, as always, welcome to Saturday. Have a great weekend. And in just a short moment, you're going to see me with a lot longer sideburns telling you to watch the second half of the show here on Twitch. Hi, I'm the Mighty Pong, host of the show that you just got done watching. Hey, if you'd like to see the entire show and not just the first hour, make sure that you watch on twitch.tv/Synshop every Friday night for the main show. And on Monday nights, we have our special project night. So you can join us, build something, and basically throw stuff at us while we try to concentrate on things. It's a lot of fun. Kind of. But hey, anyway, we hope to see you there. It's a lot of fun. So join us over there, twitch.tv/Synshop. I am, of course, the Mighty Pong, and we will see you there. One take. Not one.